morning, everyone. This is Mariana Price. I'm here from a sunny South Africa in the Northwest Province of South Africa. And we have today with us Moana Gill. She is our weekly contributor and promoter of Moringa. She's Moana Gill from Malaysia. And she is doing outstanding work with writing global award-winning recipe books. And she loves Moringa. She understands the importance of Moringa. And let me introduce her to you. And here she is. Good day, Moana.
Good day. Hi, Mariana. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's a good sunny day here, so we are very happy and always very excited to be with you online. And how are you keeping that side?
I'm doing well for 90. I can't complain. I can't complain. Yes. So I just wanted to say that I'm Moana Gill from Malaysia, and I'm an author and I write books for healthy living and wellness. And Moringalicious is my latest book, where there are about 60 recipes on how to prepare different kinds of food with moringa. And I've just completed my children's book as well, Moringalicious Malaysia, which is a recipe book for children and information about children. I also feel very strongly, Mariana, like you do as well. We keep talking and we keep telling people about moringa and all its benefits and whatever else. But I also think very strongly that we need to give a little bit of attention to our children as well, because they are our future. So I think as much as we do recipes for the elder people and so on and so forth, I think a little bit of the time we need to devote primarily for our children, to show them what moringa is all about, how to grow moringa, what the tree looks like, and then talk to them in very simple terms, the benefits that moringa has. And I think the book has about maybe 10 to 15 recipes which the kids can do by themselves or with their parents. I think when we do that, what happens is that from very young, the children know about moringa. So as they grow older, it becomes easier for them to incorporate it into whatever they want. Whereas if we are talking to adults already, who already have a mindset and who already know about different kinds of food, so when we introduce moringa to them, it is a completely new concept, because they may have heard about it or they may have read about it, but they will not have the kind of experience that the children would have as they grow up. So I think that's important. And one more thing I feel very strongly is it's a very good idea to have the machines to show people how to do pasta with moringa or packets with already available. But I think for me, I feel especially in a part of the world that I live in, I think we need to make people understand all about moringa before they even decide that they are going to include it into their cuisine. The understanding of the health benefits of moringa, the understanding about how easy it is to grow the moringa tree. So this kind of information from where I am sitting, I feel is of paramount importance to people here in this part of the world. Yeah.
Yes, I agree fully, Moana, because it is our show is Moringa to the table. But how do you get it to the table? You can only get it to the table if you talk about the seeds. You teach them how to grow the seeds into good soil and how to use moringa fertilizer in the soils, and you can plant it in a tropical way or syntropic way or in a food forest, so that you plant different plants together so that the moringa can be harvested with your other plants. And yes, there's two ways of the inclusion of moringa. Planting it, because then the people can harvest the leaves, they can harvest the seeds, make the oil. We can teach them the traditional ways of getting the oil from the seeds, because a lot of people are doing traditional ways because they don't have the natural and own goodness, because moringa is filled with so much good. It's nutrient packed, full, and it is so much stronger than all your other vegetables and all that. So why not include that?
Yeah.
Because then you are secure and sure that all the amino acids are there.
Yeah.
Everything that you need in your body, it will cancel out cancer cells. It will cancel out, all the illnesses that are there in households. And like you, and I'm so love it when you talk about the children and the elderly are
Yeah.
very important, because as you grow older, your stem cells decrease. And when your stem cells decrease, it decrease so fast, so heavily, that by the time you turn 60, it is just downhill all the way. So if you don't add the good extra stuff into your body, but how many capsules can you use? It's like, I just want to show you here. How many capsules must you consume? You must consume between 6 and 8 capsules to make sure that you bring the health into your body. But as you grow older, your throat also cannot take big lumps of food. So you have to chew it longer. The capsules become stuck in your throat because old people, it narrows up and everything. So how do we do it? Yes, and the moringa taste is also another story, because
Yeah.
moringa is a healthiest plant, but yet it is not always easy to consume that taste.
Yeah.
And that is why we need to make sure, how can people incorporate it where it's that I can almost say we cover the taste. So, and it's not that bad. I'm used to the taste now. I
Yeah.
consume moringa very easy, but when you consume fresh moringa, the fresh moringa leaves are so much easier, is because what it does, it actually just, I just want to show you there. I'm going to change my camera around. You see, there's some moringa trees.
Yeah.
Now, the moringa trees are lush, and when you consume the fresh leaves, it does have a very different taste than you have
Yeah.
for instance, your powders. The powders are much more stronger taste, but when you have there you can see as the crushed leaves. I love
Yeah.
using the crushed leaves, because the crushed leaves also does not have, I don't know why it is. We need to do a little bit more deeper, research, so that I can understand why is the taste, so strong in a powder, but not yet, in the fresh leaves or the crushed leaves. And then what we do is, you're talking about, the pastas. Here is a company. What they do is it's moringa noodles. And what they do is they already use the powder inside here's a machine, a pasta making machine. So they put it into, the pasta. Yeah, you can see I've also got little nest, the moringa noodle nests.
Yeah.
And you can make your own pasta in the pasta machine. But before, in your dough, you can either put the fine powder, or you could put, the crushed leaves in that. And that is very good, because at least, you can be homemade, you can do it at home. Yeah, I've also got another company is making Nutri Pap shake. That's Afrikaans. We call it pap, or in Africa, it's the pap is the maize, or the, or whatever for breakfast, that we are using. So this is for a malnutrition additive. So if somebody is malnourished, they would give them the cereal, and in the cereal there's a little juice here as well. So it's like a one pack nutrition value pack, and it's organic, and it's moringa in it. And you can see there's all the value. It's got the iron in it, potassium, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin C, proteins, and it has got everything that you need. We've got long lists of what moringa consists of. And we love it. We just love the fact that moringa is bringing the fast nutrition to your body, and it brings healing as well. Now, we're not allowed to say that you're going to be healed if you are very ill, if you've got very bad illness, but at least it's going to help you and assist you through that. And we don't know what your normal lifestyle is, how you are consuming your foods, and what else you're taking. Because you must remember, some people are taking a lot of sugar, other
Yeah.
people take a lot of um, your rice and all that brings sugar, that makes your sugar count very high and brings diabetes online. So if you do have a serious problem, you need to also, work with your nutritional assistants, doctors, and all that. But remember, not everybody has got the knowledge of Moringa.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
also be aware of that, because some doctors will tell you, no, you can't have too much of this, or you can't have this and you can't have that, because remember, they are selling you the medication. They're
yeah,
selling you the chemical medication where they get, they make money on it. And they are only, they taught, how to use that in the medical
yeah,
practitioners. So we have to teach and let the doctors and the nutritional people understand that moringa is like a vegetable. It
yeah,
is nothing else than a very dense packed with a nutrition. And that is important, because if we don't bring these messages across, like on my Facebook group page, Growing Moringa Trees, on Africa Moringa Hub website, where Jeanette is the CEO, and there we can find all the facts and the research papers and all that, because there's a lot of research that's been done on moringa. And so we don't have to go and find, or ourselves do the research. We can just basically log into those sites where we have the access to it, and
yeah,
we will get the facts. The facts are there. So I think we are in a very good winning situation. We're in a big winning situation where it is easy to teach now. It's easy to promote, and it's easy to bring encouragement. And look at my trees. In the beginning of the summer season, that was round about August, September. They were like still bare. The roots you can see there on the branch there. I'm zooming in. You can actually see there the old. That was just in the middle part, the dry, branches. It was cut off in the winter. Then in August, September last year, they started growing. But look how beautiful it is, taller than the house already. Can you see there? So it shows you how fast. So from September, I would say around about October, the new branches started shooting. So it's October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months. You've got the tree already there. And I just want to go and show you. We do have flowers. Last week I also showed the flowers, but look here, the flowers are shooting. And what is happening now? These flowers will open up in about a week or 2 weeks' time. They're going to open up, and it's going to be beautiful flowers that we use in our relishes, we use in our salads. And it is in different areas of the world. It is like yellow or white, or but soft
yeah,
yellow, soft white, or soft pink colors. Here by me, they are nice white color. And so with these flowers, it's got like a little burny taste. It's like a horseradish taste, and it is beautiful in your relish or in your salads. And you can even conserve it by putting it, in the glass bottles, and you can keep it for a few months in there. So whenever you need, you can just take them out and use it. You can add it to basil, to your mint. You can add it. What would you add it to? Because you use the flowers a lot,
yeah.
Moana.
So we use the flowers. Actually, we can make pickle with the flowers, and
Yes, that's what you're conserving. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
we
with
conserve, but
yes,
also we
yes,
use it when we make any kind of salad. You can put it on the top of any kind of salad that you want. We also use the flowers for making a dessert. Some of our desserts, especially the Indian desserts, are made with milk. So we use the flowers in our dessert, which makes it very, very not only delicious, but also, of course, very nutritious. But I think the we can tell people about different ways in which we can use our flowers and our leaves, etc. But I think that before people can start using it, Mariana, they have got to be convinced in their minds that the
yes.
moringa has got the nutrients that we are talking about or the values that we are talking about. And I think that is a very uphill task. Like, for example, I think if it is possible to talk to somebody in the hospital,
Yes,
the people who understand, and then we go and give a talk to the hospital and tell, especially the people, the nutritionists, plus the people in the kitchen who are making food for the patients,
Yes.
how to
Yes.
incorporate this fresh moringa or moringa powder or whatever into their diet, so that every day when they are in the hospital, the food that they eat will be a little bit more nutritious. Now, I find that a lot of the doctors are not even prepared to listen to you. They don't
Yes.
want to
Yes.
listen. They don't want to
Yes.
listen
It's
to
a
you because,
challenge.
yeah, it
It's
is a
a challenge.
mindset, and they say, "Well, we have enough. We
Yes.
don't need to add moringa into our." So I think for me, I'm trying very hard. It's an uphill task to try and get somebody with some kind of an authority or some kind of a position where he or she is convinced and hence happy to talk to all the other people. So we keep trying every day. And yeah, let's see what happens. I also feel that we also need to target like the for lack of a better word, I use the word old folks home, or where people
Yes. All these
where
the retirement
retirement places.
places. Yes.
And I think
Yes.
it has been so lovely, Mariana, if in
Mm.
these retirement places we can grow moringa so that even these older
Yes.
people are sitting there under the shade of the moringa tree. They can see how it is growing. And then when they eat it, then, it makes them feel so much more happier. And it's such a beautiful tree to have in any garden,
Yeah.
even. It's so
Yes. Look
pretty.
here. This is at
Yeah.
my back door. My back
Yeah.
door. And yeah, it is grown right next to my house because I have to grow it here, protect it
Yeah.
because of the area. Here by me, they don't grow that easy. But
Mm.
because it's got the warm wall behind them, it's
Yeah.
creating like I could almost say a nest, a
Yeah.
warm
Yeah.
nest for
Yeah.
them. And they love it because the
Yeah.
heat reflects back from the wall onto them. So it creates like a little tropical feel.
Yeah.
And but look how beautiful! It's
Yeah.
lush and green,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just when I just look out my kitchen window, I see them. Even from the bedroom window, I can see some as well. But
Yeah.
yes, they just love it here next to the. And then from here, you can grow them about for a year or 2 years. You get 2 seasons, and then you can uproot these trees because then
Mm.
they're strong, and you
Yeah.
can put them into a tunnel, and
Yeah.
there they will be strong because they will grow again because the root system will be strong enough to be replanted, and
Yeah.
then I can plant new ones here. I'm
Yeah.
already now preparing my new ones for next season. So
Mm.
the next season ones will be small, but they will already grow large.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited, that I live in an area where moringa is not grown normally, but I managed to, and that is all because of passion and
Yeah.
consistency
Yeah.
of research and
And
testing and
commitment.
all that.
Commitment.
Yes,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
now commitment, but now all that effort I can teach the world. And
Yeah.
I can say to the world, Moringa can grow anywhere because if
Yes.
I can grow it here,
Yeah.
anyone can grow Moringa. But
Yeah.
the only way for a lot of people that does not know Moringa, they start off by either taking the capsules so
Yeah.
that they can start feeling the good of Moringa. But they have to take it every day. They have to be consistent and persistent because with anything in life, if you do not take it consistently, what is it going to help you? If you
Sure.
don't do your exercise consistently, if you don't make your bed every morning consistently, if you don't clean your house consistently, if you're not eating consistently, you're not going to be healthy. So your whole
Yeah.
lifestyle is not going to be healthy. And that's the same as consuming moringa.
Yeah.
So the first step is to introduce it to the doctors, to the
Yeah.
nurses, to the healthcare workers, old
Yeah.
age homes, retirement homes, children's schools, and all
Yeah.
that. And that is why I also run my Moringa Ninja children's program.
Mm.
And because about the growing the trees, consuming it, and then obviously they will put, the powders. They will put into smoothies. When they walk at the shop and they might find a shop is selling a drink, but remember there's a very small amount of moringa in these drinks,
Yeah. Yeah.
tiny, tiny, but it's not enough to make a change every day. But I'm surprised to see that people are prepared to take those health drinks that has got a lot of bad in it. It gives heart attacks and everything. You know what I'm talking about. Those power drinks. The power drinks people are taking 3, 4 a day when they travel. But should they just consume the Moringa capsules, that will solve all that problem, because it does give you, what does it say here? It gives you a natural high. You can see what it says there. It gives you a natural high. And it's not like I'm saying you're taking drugs. Nothing like that. It's got nothing like that. What all it does, this is Germany are selling these. In Germany, you can find, and in Europe, you can find these drinks. But our artificial health drinks are not good, because they are making the people ill. People are having heart attacks. They die. Children are using it. They think they get a quick rush of energy. But I promise you, I'm 63. You are 90 years old. You understand the health of Moringa. I take, if I'm tired, like I have been working, where I work. I work everywhere. I'm all over the world, not traveling, but working here from the farm. But I work with Moringa globally. And Moringa, I wake up in the morning, I take my capsules, and I promise you, by 9 o'clock, my energy is so high that I don't feel like I had, I was catering for, the nearly 80 people here on the farm yesterday, plus hosting it and everything. And we just keep going. The energy is just always there. And you can think, the other beautiful part is you can think clear. Moana, your mind it lifts your cognitive thinking. It helps you to understand better. But now look, if I show you here on these noodles that's made, in this packet. If you buy it from the shop, you don't have to sit then and add the Moringa if you don't have Moringa. So I would suggest, when you see it in a shop, buy it, keep it in the cupboard. It can last, in the cupboard. It's sealed and all that. And when you at least 2 or 3 times a week prepare something with that, because here you can add your fish, your meats, all the other nice things you like, the cream or whatever you like, you can add to it, and you can make a delicious a delicious dish for either lunch or for your dinner. And this is, the children is not going to look at it and say, because they remember, the children of today are learning that green is good, green is healthy. Remember, so they are already, the mindset is already positive for green. If I had to get green pasta when I grew up, I think I would have run to the toilet, and vomit, because sorry for the word. But that is something we did not like, this color. This color was not a good color. So this color is now acceptable, the green, for health. And so the is good because they just eat. They don't look at what they're getting at the healthcare centers and all that, but we need to teach them. And they don't have to buy it expensive in the shops. They can make their own pasta in the pasta machine. These pasta machines and it's so cheap, because you just put the powder, you add your flour, water, and salt, and then you put it through the machine, and you can create a whole lot of different shapes. Like here, I've got a little nest. So if you're a restaurant, it's beautiful. If you have on top of that, you can serve, some fish or anything on top of that, or it can float in your soup. You can make soup, and that can float in a soup. And so it's a very healthy way of bringing that in. And this is for the children also very good. You see this company that making this peanut butter with Moringa. There's not a lot of Moringa in it, but the taste is just so that you can tolerate it. And you can put it in the children's, the lunch bag, going to school. And each one, or when you're traveling, if your child is restless or tired and screamy, little children, then you can just nip the end off. You just, on the end, you just cut that open, and they can sit and suck on it. They squeeze it out, and that is so high in nutrition, but just remember, there are children that's allergic to peanut butter, to peanuts. So you just got to be aware of the allergy. But I mean, it's not that the percentage of people that's allergic. I've only come across one person so far in my life that's allergic to peanuts. It was one of my students. But other than that, there's not the but it does happen. And so there's many ways of introducing. And your children's book, Moana, tell us a little bit more about your moringa recipes that you've got there in the children's book
In the
of
children's
moringa.
book, uh, actually, in the children's book, Mariana, because the recipes are from Malaysia, and because we grow moringa is grown very easily, and it is available all the year round. So all the recipes that I talk about are using the moringa leaf, etc. But there is also a place where I say, if you can't get if people are reading outside of Malaysia, then you can put in the moringa powder. So what
Yes.
I for the children's recipe, for example, I do a fruity moringa smoothie. Now everybody
Yes.
loves smoothies, right? So any kind of fruits that you want, and you add in your milk or whatever you like, and then if you are living in this part of the world, then we add a handful of moringa leaves. But if you are living where leaves are not available, then maybe a half a teaspoon of moringa powder, and there you get a very nice kind of a smoothie. And again, with smoothies, there's not one, as you know, there are so many different kinds of smoothies with different with the cucumber and greens as well, or you can have different kinds of fruits or fruits in season. So you can do that. The other easy thing actually for children is to make an omelette. Everybody loves an
Yes.
omelette, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. Yes.
So in I was saying, for the children, I think another easy way of getting moringa into their meal is to do a moringa omelette. And an omelette is so easy to make. And some children like omelettes with cheese. Some children like pieces of ham or pieces of chicken, and whatever you want, or tomato in your omelette. And at the end of it, towards the end, you just if you don't have the fresh moringa leaves, you can always use the moringa powder. But I guess that where we live, because we have lots of fresh moringa, so we just blanch our moringa leaves, chop them, and put it in the omelette. And then within 2 or 3 minutes, your omelette is ready. So there are simple and easy ways for children to consume. And this is something that they can do themselves as well. If they're by 6 or 7 years old, then they can do themselves. The other thing I was thinking, Mariana, do you think it might be a good idea if I do uh, cooking classes on moringa on the
Yes.
and which is open to anybody who wants to? Let's just make it free, so we don't really have to worry
Yes.
about anybody
Yes.
paying for it. But like designated once a week, maybe at a designated time, I will have a moringa class where we might do, let's say, just about three recipes, but three
Yes.
recipes where we will show them in detail of how to do the
Yes.
recipe.
Like a
And
hands-on, like
be
a
hands
hands-on,
on.
where they see this
Yeah,
is how you do it and what you do, because that's very important, Moana.
yeah,
Because people, we are very used to how we cook. We cook without measurements because we know,
yeah, yeah,
how much is, how much salt, sugar, anything you need in your recipe, how many moringa and how much of this and that. But many people are not familiar. They work strictly according to a recipe, and they scared, especially the young girls, if they didn't grow up with cooking or working in a kitchen. And I think that will be a very good idea. That will be very welcome in the world. And the more and more people, we can actually call that one, we can do Moringa to the table, hands on editions.
yeah.
So people will know when they look at that, that is not just a talking about Moringa to the table,
But
but that
actually,
is the
yeah,
that is a hands-on series. So we will run it parallel with this one so that
yeah,
we know that it is easy to follow recipes. And next week, we are going to speak about your Moringa Licious book. That is an
yeah,
award-winning, recipe book, a global, recognition.
yeah,
And it's important that people know the recipe books are there, because that's a reminder It's beautiful to have in your kitchen. It's not just an ornament standing there, but you can page through it and you can always look and see, oh, this is a nice recipe. This is like, for instance, the macaroons is a nice
Yeah.
gift because they
Yeah.
can make them macaroons and they can gift pack it nicely. So it's a homemade gift. And
Yeah.
then it's like your relishes and all that is also gifts. So people can really have fun with it. And that is why we, or me, you and Jeanette, and together with Dr. Leban Serto, Mariko, and everyone else working with Moringa, promoting Hemant from Nepal, Joshua from Ghana, um, uh, everyone, doing their effort in the world, is so important to all of us to make sure that people can bring it to the table, because it's not, even what do people do when they consume the capsules? They sit at a table while they're eating, and that's when they're drinking their medication, their capsules. So it
Yeah.
should be part of your, daily routine. Yes, and I'm very excited that we are continuing and we're following through every Wednesday. And we can actually maybe even do it straight after this show,
Yeah.
so that we know that we've got our Wednesday, 2 hours, put away for our dedicated Moringa to the table time. So we just make the recording a little bit longer, but I'm
Yeah.
excited for you launching it like that, and we will be there. We will be committed, because remember, it's part of our mission, part of
Yeah.
our effort, and we are planting trees as well. We are part
Yeah.
of the group. I mean, you're part of me as well with
Yeah.
planting the 10,000 trees. Now it's a
Yeah.
million trees. We are
Yeah.
planting in Africa also. Make sure we've got Janetta, myself, and Joshua as part of the One Home, One Moringa tree. But we're not just giving them one seed, we're giving them 10 or 20 seeds. Yesterday, I had 67 farmers here, and each of one of them got 100 seeds. So those 100 seeds has gone to 670 homes, and I can guarantee you they will bring their neighbors, friends also to get the seeds and start planting moringa, because
Mm.
each one of them are excited. They know the value as a farmers. They understand that moringa is also not to the table of our humans, but also to the feeding table of the animals.
That's correct.
Birds,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
birds are consuming my moringa tea. I sell
Yeah.
it to pet shops, and the pet shops are giving it, for the parrots, because
Mm.
moringa helps that the parrots don't get frustrated and pull the feathers out, and
Mm.
so that brings calm to the birds. It also, for the animals, it's got healthy food for the animals, and when
Yeah.
an animal get the health in the body, if we consume the animal or the fish or whatever that's consumed moringa, it
Yeah.
means through the animal or the birds or the fishes, it comes into our bodies.
Yeah.
So that is also another route where it's very
Yeah.
important. So it's a
Yeah.
big circle. It's a big, big circle where that circle is feeding the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Fertilizers are being made of moringa. The atmosphere, the more moringa trees you plant, the best our atmosphere is going to be for carbon sequestration. So moringa is immensely important. We're even putting moringa now on the blockchain system.
Yeah.
And we're launching it next week here on the farm, on the Peace Farm. We're launching it here. And I'm
Yeah.
so excited because it is really something good for humanity. And I'm excited to look forward next week to discuss Moringa Licious. And I think after that, we have our first hands on show where you will
Yeah.
prepare one of those meals for us
Yeah.
as well.
I also just wanted to say that I belong to a gardening society, and we just got information that some people in the villages, what they are doing is they're growing chickens and giving moringa for the chickens to eat. So I
Yes.
think next week they're getting the first crop of chickens that have been fed on moringa. So if anybody who
Oh,
wants to buy can buy this special chicken which have been fed on Moringa. So I want to see how that is going to work out, and I'm going to get some next week, and I'm going to show you some pictures, and then later on we'll tell you what if there's any difference in the taste or not. But this, can you imagine this whole farm dedicated only to
yes,
feeding the chicken
yes.
with Moringa? Yeah,
Yes, and that is happening globally. And
yeah,
what I can tell you what the goodness is. Remember, I was a poultry farmer. I had 185,000 chickens every cycle, and every cycle is every 40 days. So
mm,
after every 45 days, we have a new cycle in 185,000 chickens. We used to put hormones was in our feed. I stopped farming the chickens because of the hormones. I didn't like it. I did not agree to it. I'm a global campaigner, and I decided no more. I had enough. Stop it. But at that time, I didn't realize because there was no big enough company that could supply me with no hormones, in the animal feed and for the poultry. And then it became, after I stopped, it became a little bit more, natural, but it's still not into all the big companies are not using moringa.
yeah,
And the farmers that does use a moringa, it is making the meat softer, it's
mm,
more calmer, and there's no hormones in, because remember, there is no medication in there, because the moringa are the medication, moringa are the medicine that is feeding. So all the goodness of moringa does go into the chicken. They are more it's a so much more better quality. But you've got the farmer who's using moringa cannot put all the bad stuff in it as well. They've got to make sure there's no fit, no medication that is the wrong medications. They have to make sure that it is organically grown. And I think the small scale farmers are going to do much better,
better, yes,
because they can go over to the system of
yeah,
organic, growing. And that organic growing is going to become a big demand,
yeah,
and they're going to become big farmers one day, because they will understand the better. Remember, many years ago, the people that did
yeah,
permaculture, and they were living healthy. They were the hippies of the world. Remember, they were the hippies of the world.
yeah,
They
yeah,
were the natural people. And a lot of people looked down on them. They did not like it. They thought it was weird and, not acceptable in the normal day to day thing. Now that everybody is going to permaculture, natural growing, now suddenly, it is the in thing. It is the fashion, of growing your food. And I'm amazed to see how much the world has changed. And are we excited to bring people along next week? Maybe you can even ask one of them to come to the show with you, and actually sit and have a discussion. And also, while you're preparing, maybe you can prepare the meal of the nice a chicken, in one of your dishes. And
yeah,
then we can talk about it, because that is very important. And those videos will go across the globe, and people will start watching them and send it on to others, and they can be change makers. They become the change makers in society.
yeah.
And yes, I'm excited. I'm very, very excited.
I
So
just got,
let's
I
get the
just,
photos and
yeah,
everything from them as well. So we can
I just,
advertise and invite people to come on with us.
yeah, I just got the news today. So we are now looking into, they said that it would be ready in about 2 weeks' time. So we will
Yes, that's
see.
fine.
When
That's
they are
fine.
ready,
Yes,
then we get the pictures. And we might even, there might also be a possibility later on to go to the particular place where they are
yes,
feeding
yes.
these chicken, and then
Wonderful.
rearing them and then see what is going to happen. Yeah.
So you know what I see? You know what I see, Moana? You're going to write a book on, organic grown animals, and the recipes from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Why
So
not?
here comes so here comes the next recipe book.
Lovely.
Moana at the age of 90 writing this beautiful recipe book on, you know, organically grown animals. Beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes. Always, there's always hope. As long as as long as there's life, there's hope.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And you are so energetic, and I love your energy, and I love your positiveness, and always a great smile and happy soul. Thank you for that.
Not
Maybe
at
I
all.
would ask you to bring Mariko with us next week on the show.
Yes,
Will you
yes.
invite her for us? So we bring Mariko online.
Why don't you invite her directly, Mariana? Because
Yes,
that
I
will
will do
make,
that. I will
yeah,
do that. But
yeah.
you also invite her. So
I
both of
will,
us
I will.
invite her and
Mm.
let her come with us on the show because I miss her a lot. Yes,
Yes, great, great.
absolutely, absolutely. But thank you, Moana.
Not
This
at
is
all.
exciting. And
Yes,
this is a chat show, you know, where people can see we plan, we bring knowledge, understanding, how we thinking, how we bringing the next week's show online and a week after that. As we talk about it, we get excited about it. And then the other best thing is we're consistent and we do it. It
yeah,
happens. And
yeah,
that's what is with your bringing Moringa to the table as well. You have to be positive. You have to bring it in and bring it in consistently, take it consistently, and then you will see the change. I've got so many witnesses, people that are witnessing that they've been, I can't say healed, but they've been cured, you know, from a lot of problems. And especially when it comes to diabetes, health problems, heart problems, arthritis, fibromyalgia, and mental, you know, mental illness, clarity, eyesight, you know, all those things. Look here, we're not wearing glasses. You know, we eat the healthy foods, and you are a promoter of healthy foods, and that helps us. Yes, sometimes you put the glasses on, but then if you keep, you know, feeding your body well, then, you know, the little bit of, you know, haziness in your eyes goes away. Your body is just functioning so much better. So, yes, let's keep doing it and let's bring the ideas. That's why today I thought the pasta would be a good thing, the
yeah,
peanut butter in the sachet. Because remember, people also are business people that might see our videos and they will find innovation. You know, they will be inspired by something and then they just add something else and they bring it to the market. They manufacture something, you know, good with moringa in it, the drinks and the pastas and the soups and sauces. And
yeah,
before we know it, when we look back 3 years, 5 years from now, we will see our consistent input
yeah,
and consistent bringing awareness will make the changes. I can remember from 2018, 2017, 2018, not many people knew about Moringa. Moringa was still very new, although that it was grown, but like the countries were not using it in their homes, like you were using it in a home once in a while. But that is something that we are consistently, you know, doing and you know, we keep promoting and we must
and
keep doing it because I
yeah,
can see the difference. Jeanette
and
as well, she can see the difference.
we need more
I'm
education.
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
more
excited.
education. Yeah,
Yes,
more education.
education,
Yeah,
teaching is
yeah,
very important. So whoever is watching this in future, we ask them, please keep helping us, teaching and all that. It's an awareness campaigns that we are doing, and it's good for humanity. Remember, everything we do is for humanity, and we are humanitarians, and we're not handing out money or anything, but we're handing out knowledge and understanding. That's what
yeah.
we're basically doing. And thank you for your time, Moana. And thank
My
you for
pleasure
Jeanette as
always.
well for always being here
Yes.
consistently and
Thank you, Janet.
recording and be here. We truly appreciate and have a lovely week ahead.
And
And
we'll see you next
everyone
week.
watching it in future, enjoy whatever we're telling you and start using Moringa. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
But,
you,
but
Jeanette.
but thank you. See you next week. Yes. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.